wanted to say welcome and thank you for coming to Social Media Leadership Forum 2014. We're really excited to kick this off in January. Since it's a new year, we're at the tail end of January, but we're excited to have you. Thank you for coming. I'm really excited I'm excited a lot, can you tell? I've been talking with Gail, and every time I talk to her, I learn something new. So that's a good sign, and she is the real deal. So I'm excited to have her. Okay, well, I am Allison Stripling, and I'm your host. I organize Bay Area Social Media Mastermind, and we meet here at the Laptop Lounge. We talk about social media and online strategies and a hands-on approach with entrepreneurs and small business owners. So, and I hope you enjoyed your dinner. Was it good? I heard some great reviews. Also, yeah, he had a bunch of happy people, bunch of hungry, happy people. And thank you to the Laptop Lounge. We're going to talk about them later, but I just wanted to thank them for having us here and hosting all of us. So we're excited. Gail and the leadership panel are excited to help you through the social media maze of today and be productive and successful with social media. We know you're serious about incorporating social media as part of your marketing plan, and we can't wait to deliver the secret sauce. Okay, you ready? All right. So what I wanted to say is, any other seminar, it would be really rude to be on your devices, to be on your phone. It would be really, really rude, except for this one. So what we want you to do is, if you tweet, we want you to share the information, pass it out. Use the hashtag. It's hashtag SMLF2014. I don't know if it's large enough there, but you can see the hashtag. Did you guys see that video online? Like every time the guys did like hashtag, they would do hashtag. Anyway, it was really funny. It was Jimmy Fallon and JT. Anyway, it was really great. It was really very annoying every time hashtag, hashtag. So, you can look on YouTube and find that. Thank you, Dina. All right.
Do you need the Wi-Fi password?
Oh, what?
Password.
Who needs a Wi-Fi password to get on? I know mobile devices, you might not need it, but if you need it, it is. Does everybody know Victor?
No.
Hi, Victor.
Hi, everybody. So if you need to get on our Wi-Fi, look for the Laptop Lounge Network and enter username and password LLGuest. You have to bring up a browser window. You should get a login screen. And then LLGuest for both should get you on our Wi-Fi.
Capital,
Uppercase, LL, lowercase guest, all one word. So sorry to interrupt, but
That's all
that
right.
might come in handy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Who are the lucky ones who want to sit in the front, right here? 3 seats. Going once, going twice.
Come on down.
Come on down. We're not scary. Gail won't spit at you. That's what I've heard. All right, so thank you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. And I have something to read on Gail because I can't memorize it and say it enough. And she's got some really great stuff on here, so I want to read it to you. Gail Nott is the co-founder of Nott Limited Solutions, which builds community of loyal customers for influential entrepreneurs through social media. So what you'll find is you don't have to be able to read English to do social media. Gail combines her 17 years experience in web development, referral marketing, networking, and social media to turn her clients' business goals into actionable plans and marketing strategies that pay off into 6- and 7-figure businesses. She was a recipient of the Constant Contact All-Star Award for 2 years in a row for demonstrating best practices in the effective use of email marketing, co-author of the book Make Your Connections Count, and received her certification in Master SEO by the Search Engine Academy. Woohoo! Yeah! That's awesome. Woohoo! Nott Limited Solutions donates 10% of their revenues to local and global charities that support entrepreneurs, women, and children, including HIVA, Rotary International, and Global Giving to support Philippines typhoon relief. When she's not online, she enjoys reading, camping, motorcycle touring, and traveling with her husband and dog. And did you see some of her posts lately with her latest trip? Yes. I want to. I will do. Gail, Nott, and her visionary clientele believe in challenging the status quo, that pursuing our life's purpose is not work, and by cherishing our success, we increase abundance in the world. I'm really excited to get to know Gail over these last few weeks. I can call her a good friend, and I learn from her all the time I talk to her. So with that, I want to introduce Gail Nott.
How about now? No, that's pretty loud. How about now? All right. Okay, cool. Give me now. All right, thank you all for coming tonight. I'm really excited about this inaugural Social Media Leadership Forum for 2014. So before we really dive into things, I just want to get a feeling for what social media sites are you using? Who's on Facebook? All right, everybody. Who's on Twitter? Oh, good, cool. LinkedIn? Pinterest? Few. Instagram? Snapchat. Oh, well, we got one person on there. Oh, two people on there. You guys probably have teens. And I believe the newest one is WhatsApp app. Oh, there's a couple of people on there. Okay, great. All right, so that gives me a feeling for what you're already using. I first got on Facebook probably 2008. I got the invite. I got in. Because before, it was just limited to people who were in college, so you had to have the college email address. And then they opened it up to people who worked for Fortune 500 companies. So you had to have the @Microsoft.com or @IBM.com to get in. But finally, I got in. And I joined it to see what in the world is this thing called and what's it about. And I realized all my relatives were already on it. So my cousins, and I don't know if you know any Filipino families or Asian families or Hispanic families or any like large ethnic group families. When I say family, I mean I know my 8th cousin. I tease my husband like he doesn't even know barely knows his first cousins. I know my 8th cousin. He works over in Concord. So we know everybody, and I grew up with this huge family. And of course, you know what happens is as you get older and you grow up and you move away, they just kind of move. And maybe you send a Christmas card, and maybe you give them a call. But what do you do when you just want to say hi and what's up? Is that awkward or uncomfortable to give someone a call when you know that they're really swamped and they're really busy and you are too? So how do you stay in touch? So when Facebook came around, I was thrilled that now I have a way to stay connected with my family. And as I saw that you could use it for business, I picked up on that too and started using it for business. So let's get started on what's hot for 2014. And it's going to turn on at some point. And so we are going to focus on some big trends for 2014. And I'll just say this, that when it comes down to it, good marketing is good marketing. So I may say things and you may be thinking, well, you know, I'm already doing that. And that's great because you're ahead of the curve. These trends are what people are saying, there's no way to avoid it now. You've got to do it this way if you want it to be effective. There we go. And there we are. All right. So the 3 biggest social media trends in 2014. So our first one. I know, it's not coming up. There we go. Okay, social mobile. As I see everyone picking up their phones and taking pictures and tweeting and Facebooking and texting and doing whatever you need to do, our smartphones, which has the power to launch a space shuttle into space, is our main device to stay connected to the world. For many, this is their first computer. It really is a computer. It's amazing how much information is available to us because of our smartphones. And it's with us all the time. I'm not going to ask for hands like who actually does this. There are a lot of people who actually sleep with their smartphone. I am one of them because I use it as my alarm clock. That's the, that's the only reason. It is on airplane mode. But I do have my smartphone with me almost all the time. So you can see that in our media consumption, it's not like we're sitting in front of the TV or computer all the time. You're thinking of your whole day. You have your phone on you. How many times are you checking on it? You're at your computer. How many times are you checking on the computer, whether it's for work or whether it's for fun? And added up, the mobile takes over with that. In fact, a lot of people are using their smartphones or tablets while they're watching TV or while they're on the computer. It happens to be right there. So that's something that the entertainment business is really taking advantage of, is providing these Twitter chats so you can actually talk to other people while it's happening. So everyone in this room, you're missing out on a really big event tonight. State of the Union address. But I'll tell you what's happening. He's going to make a lot of promises, and then we'll see what happens. So I summed it up for you. And what's really interesting is even the government tweeted today that how important Twitter has become to the political world, because people are sharing their opinions and sharing what they're feeling. So it would be interesting to look back at Twitter later tonight and see, well, what are people saying or tweeting or posting while the address is happening? Are they in agreement? Are they frustrated? Is there hope? What are their feelings that are occurring while they're watching this address? And that really brings up an important point when it comes to social media, is that have you ever felt like you've been pushed to something on sales, or like people are just tweeting or posting all about their promotion and it just drives you a little crazy because that's not why you went online in the first place? True social media is about the emotional connection and not necessarily about the promotional posts. So it's about emotion, not about promotion. And are we doing that with our social media? So as we have our phones with us, we get to capture in the moment social media. So as it happens, went a little too far. Let me go back one. We'll talk about how you comparison shop in the store too. But in the moment social media. So while people are out and about, they are tweeting and posting and sharing their experiences. Now, there's some backlash against that people aren't really present in the moment, and I believe there's a balance. I do a thing where if I feel like I need to post something, I'll post it, and then I'll put the phone down, put it in my purse, or put it face down. And that's how I use it. And everyone has their own rule on how they're going to balance it out. But it's just a fact of life. You're not going to escape that. We recently went on vacation. I think Allison had mentioned that. And my husband, Corey, he loves using Foursquare. Have you heard of Foursquare? Anyone? So a few people have heard of Foursquare. It's they've made a game out of saying where you're at. So you get points for every time you check into a business. So earlier I checked into Laptop Lounge. I've been here before, so it just gave me 1 point. But if this was my first time, it'd give me 10 points. And as you gain points, you get to be on this leaderboard, and you can be #1. And if you check in a lot, you get to be the mayor, and they put a little badge on your profile. I know, it sounds silly, but people love it, including my husband. We have a friend who seems to check in everywhere. I think he checks in while he drives, because he checks in at the bridge. I think he checks in the bathroom. I mean, he's got 500 points every week. We have no idea what he's doing. So Corey was like, I am going to beat him this week. And we were in St. Croix for the first time, and he checked in every airport, every gate, every taxi, I think, but also all the restaurants we enjoyed, all the beaches we went to, all the stores we went to, and he was sharing that information. So what was his motive? Why did he want to do that? Gain points. It's fun. He wants the badge. Challenge his friends. It's competitive. It's in the marketing world. It's called gamification. So if you can make something fun, that can catch on. And how is this helping the local businesses? we are telling the thousands of people that we know online where we're at. And if he also adds, oh, the food here is amazing. We had the Creole conch. Yeah, we learned how to pronounce that. The Creole conch at Kim's. And one is this hole in the wall where only really the locals know about it. And we discovered it because of Foursquare and I think Yelp as well. So that's his motives for capturing in the moment social media. For me, I didn't necessarily care too much about the points. I was over that. The first time it came out, yes, I had to be mayor. But now it was more about if I really met a small business owner or went to a small business or a local business that I loved, I want to tell the world about it. Because, I mean, that's all we have is how are people going to know about this great small business if we don't help them out and promote it and share it? So I was happy to do that. Yes, Heather.
I don't know if you're taking questions, but my first thought is why would anyone want to expose their deepest intimate habits to all those that might profile them or say that information, and use it against them essentially? Right.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. There is some concern of if you live alone and you say you're on vacation, then your house is empty. Well, we don't live alone, so I wasn't really worried about that. But there are concerns for each person. Each person needs to make a decision on where they're going to draw the line. Some people say if you don't want your grandmother to know, don't post it. If you don't want your boss to know, don't post it. If you don't know, they don't need to know everything. You have a choice on what you want to post. I actually want to ask the panel later on my own question of when you're in a bad mood and you still have to do your social media marketing, what do you do? Because we all have bad days. We might even have bad months, bad years. Like, what do you do? I mean, I've got those slump times, and I'm a little quiet on those days. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I shouldn't be doing that. I should be posting something. But I don't feel like it. So what do you do? So there's always a choice on what you want to do. And there are people who feel very comfortable with sharing a lot. There are some people who are a little naive, and I'd love to educate them because people can follow where they are if they're checking everything. And there's also people who know better. One of the new apps, the Snapchat, I wasn't really going to talk about platforms tonight, but just to bring up an example, this is a brand new social media site, and it self-destructs. It's a self-destructing message. So you post something, and it's not there forever. So teens love this. I wonder why. So it's a good thing that you're on it if your teens on it. Keep an eye on them. So teens are actually pretty wary about they're getting the message now that this is going to follow them. So they are not as open as people who are in the 35 to 55 age range. So maybe we can learn something from them. So in the moment social media, people are posting all the time, even in stores. Okay, I'm going to get this in a minute. There we go. Oh, man. Tricky mouse. Okay. So retail mobile, who's done this? You go to a store and you see something you like, and then you scan the code and see how much you can get on Amazon. So that is the majority of people are doing. They're doing comparison shopping. Maybe they're looking for coupons. I love searching for product reviews. This is actually something my husband taught me, is if you're not really sure about a product, scan it and see what other people say about it. So people are looking for a friend's review. So if you happen to have a store and you're kind of concerned about this, what I would suggest is, they're doing it, so make the information available. I love how, and it's too bad that Barnes & Noble's closed in Pleasant Hill, but I love the fact that they put their staff picks. I love how they'll say things like, you'll see in some stores where they'll have the comparison shopping right there and then, so you don't have to worry about that. Or why not be the trusted advisor and help the customer pick what they want to pick rather than having to go online to do this. My favorite when it comes to helping people with information is the copy or the phrase where they say, this is for you if, and then this isn't for you if. I love that. I love the honesty of that. For example, I do done for you social media, and it's not for everybody. It's not for people who are just starting out in their business. They're a one-person shop. They have more time than money. It's not for that person. It's also not for the business where they can hire someone full-time to manage their social media. So I've got this perfect niche, and I'm very clear with that. And I'd ask you, do you know how to help your customers and clients figure out if you're the best product or the best service for them? And by doing that, I'm already nervous clicking to the next one. Here we go. There we go. In doing that, you're no longer a commodity. So Apple, who here loves Apple? I'm not raising my hand. No, it's a good product. Well, we have a joke that apples are half the computer at 10 times the price. But you guys love it. You love Apple. Why? It's expensive.
Customer service.
Customer service, easy to use. What else? It's pretty. Thank you. Thank you for being honest. Anyone else?
No viruses.
No. Well, that's a misconception. But there's less viruses because less people target apples versus PCs. Anyone else? It's prestigious. Ooh, prestige. What was that? Oh, schools are using it. Interesting.
It's hip.
It's hip. It is hip. Yeah, PCs are like, they're all nerds. People who own PCs, we're all nerds. Isn't it interesting that there were a lot of words in there that weren't tangible items? It wasn't about the price. It was what you felt about this company. And we'll go a little bit more into this, but why it's so popular is that they've been able to trigger the emotion and not the promotion when it comes to their business. And that big commercial with the Think Different, that really changed things a lot. So you can do this too. It's not be a commodity. Now, you may be asking me, well, I thought we were talking about social media. Why are we talking about branding and customer service and image? It's all tied together. We've got to have this solid foundation of who you are and who you want to project to the world so that when you have this solid in you and in your business culture, you know what to post. And we'll go a little bit more into that as well. So we've got a special hashtag for tonight. So silly. I did not come up with that. I don't know who came up with it. It must have been Jimmy Kimmel and Justin Timberlake. So we have a special hashtag for tonight. It's hashtag SMLF 2014. Someone was asking me, what the heck is this hashtag? It's a way to categorize posts. So if you're searching for a certain thing, then you can find it. So if you went to Twitter and put in the search box, hashtag, and then those letters and numbers, all the tweets that have been tweeted tonight will show up in that search box. So the savvier users understand this. One of my popular or favorite hashtags to use is small business, marketing, social media, or whatever it is you do. Coaching, speaking, video marketing, content marketing, holistic health, wellness, writing. I'm looking through the room. Referral marketing. So whatever it is, you can use those hashtags as well and create something with that. So these hashtags are popular on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. It makes it easier to follow people, to find people, and for you to be found. And I just want to recognize that you're here tonight. You're at the very first event. What made you decide to come tonight to this exclusive, only 50 tickets available, keynote speaker? It's catered. Does that provide a feeling for what you wanted to be part of? And in a sense, you guys are early adopters too. I'm guessing the next one we're going to have, sorry, Victor, we might need a bigger space for the next one. Possible. We'll figure out what can happen with the next one. But you guys are early adopters. So even in our own social media marketing and marketing for this event, we wanted to make sure that we were invoking a feeling that, and we wanted to attract the leaders. That was the point, is that we wanted to attract the people who had a sense of social media, had a sense of marketing, who were open to learning new ideas and to network with fellow business owners, because that's what myself and Allison are about as well. Now with social media, there's so many aspects to this, and if you're far away, I'd be happy to send you a link to this so you could see all these different ideas. But there's this idea that there's so many things you could do with social media, from blogging, social networks like Facebook. This particular author puts SEO into there, mobile social media, blogging, video sharing, and so on. So there's all of these ideas of social media. And there's also all of these ideas for what may be considered traditional media. And we may have been using these two separately. So we're doing our Facebook posts, we're doing our blogging, but our door hangers, business cards, let's see what else that you might be doing, customer service, direct mail, brochures, don't mention that we're on social media. So one of the biggest trends right now is to check to see if you are blending these two together with what's called fusion marketing. Fusion marketing. So how are you blending these two together? For example, if you have coupons, does it lead people to your web page? If you are sharing videos, is that also posted online? If you have a business card, does that have links to your social media sites? Does it have maybe a QR code so people can get online? How are you tying everything together? This is an in-person event, but it was marketed by phone calls, emails, personal invitations, postcards, flyers. Then we gathered in person, and we're also tweeting, we're Facebooking, we're videoing, we're photographing. So even though this is an event, the same things could be done with any kind of business. If you're a retail store, if you have a grand opening, a sale, a promotion. If you're services, do you have a special seasonal event that you're doing for services? Like Valentine's is coming up. Do we have anything coming up for Valentine's Day, for February, for March, for drought season, whatever is working together? And what you could do is have your goal in mind. For example, increase your email list. And then what are all the things that you can do to increase your email list? So this concept of this, I was going to say this concept was designed by, that's not true. This has been around. The smart marketers have been doing this from the very beginning. It's just social media is a new marketing tactic. I'm going to put that in my tool belt and see where I can fit it into my marketing. Lon Sofko, who wrote the Social Media Bible, just published the Fusion Marketing Bible. So he's the one who designed this wheel. You could actually print them out and fit them together if you like to as well. So these images are from Lon Sofko.
How do you spell that? Lon?
Lon, L-O-N, last name S-O-F-K-O. And he wrote the Social Media Bible and the brand new Fusion Marketing Bible. So he'll go into detail. But to be honest, that's pretty much it. Do whatever you can to fit the goal. So we're going to do a little exercise together. Come on, baby. Oh, much. Okay, so we're going to do a little exercise together. We're going to increase our email list. Why would we want to increase our email list? Money yet? Yes?
It's the only component of the social media wheel that you control.
Oh, good point. I like that.
You don't control your Facebook fans. You don't control what you can send out. Your email list, you have full control over.
So he's saying you have full control over your email list. You don't have control over Facebook. You don't have control over Twitter. And it's a really good point because that's actually my third point for this evening. No, that's perfect. So what Dina had mentioned with increasing your email list, the people on your email list, when it comes to online marketing, you got your Facebook friends, your Twitter followers, Pinterest followers, and so on. Out of all those lists, the ones in the email list are the ones who are most likely going to buy from you because they've allowed you to enter their inbox. For how many of you is that a sacred space for you? If someone sends you an unsolicited email, what kind of emotions does that pop up? Unsubscribe, spam, delete, call the FBI. No, just kidding. So increasing the email list is actually a very important goal when it comes to an integrated marketing plan. And there's many ways to do that. So we're going to do a little exercise together. So we're going to increase our list, and I'd love for you to shout out everything you can do to increase this list. And I'm going to do my best to highlight traditional marketing versus social media. Go ahead. Anyone? Speaking. Awesome.
Website call to action.
I'm just going to put in green if it's online. Website call to action. Cool. Anything else? Newsletters, printed or email? Email. Okay. So well, that's this, but you could still increase your email list with a newsletter. Webinars. How about traditional marketing? Direct mail.
Live events. Print advertising.
Traditional media, advertising, radio.
Partner with someone.
Partner. That could be both. So that's part referral marketing, part online affiliate program.
Promotions or giveaways. Collaborating.
Yeah. Giveaway. Collaborating could be part of this too.
Could buy a list.
Could, really? I'm not putting that on, that's not allowed. No buying lists. You could buy a mailing list, like a snail mail list. Networking. There. Thank you, Miley.
Trade show.
Trade shows. Yes. So we've got all these ideas we can do to increase our email list. One of the mistakes I see with my social media clients is they only have one tool in the tool belt. They only have one tactic that they're doing. Versus, well, let's see what else we can do. That, yes, it's not in my realm, but it will help us with our goal. So if we're just focusing on an opt-in box on our Facebook page or opt-in link on our Twitter profile, how many other opportunities are we missing out on? Because we're not fusing everything that we can together. Now, we've said all these tactics. Why should someone subscribe in the first place? Why do you want my email address? I know that Carolyn Higgins has a free email gift, so we didn't mention that on here, but that could be something too, is they actually get something in return for that. So she has a free report. And what's it called again, Carolyn?
7 Steps to Marketing Success.
7 Steps to Marketing Success. So why would someone subscribe to that?
Usually when people download my report or come to my website, it's because they're really frustrated that they've been trying marketing and it's not working. They're not getting the results that they want, and they're sick of spending tons of money and not making the revenue.
Right.
So they'll download the report and get on my list and eventually contact me.
Right. Great. So she's using the free gift option, and she has the opt-in on her box. I know that you also promote it on your speaking events. You have other tangible ways of building your email list. And you've hit an emotion on why would they subscribe. They're frustrated. They want success. They're tired of wasting money. They're tired of wasting time. They're tired of guessing on what will actually work for their marketing. So as we're talking about tactics and how we do things, there still has to be this core reason on why we're doing everything. It's got to be about the emotion and not the promotion. why would someone want to buy from you? Another example of fusing your marketing together is this is a newsletter that Allison designed for a client. And what they did was they took a screenshot of it and put it on their Facebook page. And because they did that, and because it was shared just 12 times, over 2,000 people saw it. Now, when you think about like the cost, like people often think about the cost of marketing. So how, in terms of money and time, how long does it take to put a newsletter together? If you know what you're doing, or you hire someone to do that. How long does it take to take a screenshot and put it on Facebook? So social media isn't necessarily totally free because it is your time. But for 2,000 views, that is a great result with just doing that technique together. So they're both online techniques, but you're doing two things at once. You only had to write the newsletter once. You only had to get it designed once, and then you post it up online. And as you see this event, it's hosted by a physical therapy sports performance office or practice. It is a wine trunk show, appetizers, and you get to meet a world champion and Olympic medalist. So they're obviously targeting their target market, people who unfortunately have to go to physical therapy. But it's a fun event. There's wine, trunk show, that means shopping. For the men who don't know that means shopping. There's appetizers, there's food. I don't know about you, but I'm a foodie. So there's food, wine and food and shopping. Oh, and we get to meet someone who will inspire me to do better in if I did that. But she looks amazing, and that would probably inspire me to go to the gym more often. So. By just doing a few simple actions, they get over 2,000 people to see it. Now, 2,000 people may not have shown up at the event. They probably wouldn't want 2,000 people to show up at the event. But in a way, this is free advertising. In the world where less people are reading newspapers, less people are reading magazines, less people are watching TV or ads in general, it's a great way to do this type of fusing your marketing together. So I mentioned that one of the first trends is the social mobile. So are we mobile capable? Do we have, I didn't mention this earlier, but some things to think about are, does your website show up on a smartphone or a tablet? There's a new word now, it's called responsive, where you can actually have a website that changes depending on if it's being viewed on a cell phone, a tablet, or a computer. So is your website what's called responsive? Is it easy to find your contact information if someone was searching from their phone? The second point was fusing your marketing together. Take a look and see what you have planned for this year and see where you can overlap and connect things and connect the dots. We didn't really talk about workflow here. But if you give me a second here, let me work the magic and give you a possible workflow. So let's say we're increasing our email list. We're giving away the free gift. And the point of increasing the email list is to promote a Valentine's Day special. So I'm giving away a coupon. I'm doing a radio show. I'm giving away a coupon. I tell them, go to my website to opt in to the email list. They get the coupon, and then they could spend it in Valentine's Day. If I also capture their address, then I also have their mailing address as well, so I can send things to them by mail. So as you're looking at what you have planned this year, see where you can connect the dots, put things together, and develop a workflow. It looks a little crazy. I know my handwriting is crazy. But as you map things out and connect the dots, you can list things in order, step by step. Here's the things we're going to do. I like to say that when we set a goal, that's our dream. So we're dreaming this. And then this kind of stuff is our planning. So you got dreamers and planners. Most people would say the third step is the doers. That sounds boring to me. No one really wants to do all this stuff. So I like to say it's you're achieving. So if you are planning it, if you're dreaming it, you're planning it, and then you will be achieving the goal that you want. The third trend is social media is not necessarily free anymore. Even though it did really take all our time, they now want our money. These social media sites such as Facebook and Twitter need to become profitable or they're not going to last. It's just the nature of the beast. They are businesses as well, with investors who invest a lot of money into them. And so you may have noticed, especially in this past year, is that if you wanted your post to actually be seen, they want you to pay for it. Oh, and they make it so easy. It's only $5. Oh, you could do it from your phone. It's only $10 and you can get it posted. It's just how it is. And it may be part of your strategy. If you have that in the budget, to put $5, $10, $15 a week to boost your most popular post, it can be worth the investment. And if that's something that you're interested in to see if it really is worth your business, we've got a room full of marketing experts who can help you determine if it's in your budget, if it's the best strategy for you, and so on. But what if you don't have an advertising budget? What if I've got the clothes on my back, my sleeves are rolled up, and I'm ready to do some work, but I don't necessarily want to spend a lot of money advertising. I'm already spending my time. So what can we do instead? There is another way. And that's through your stories. Do you have stories to share that connect with people? They could be stories about your business, about why you started your business. They could be stories about your employees, about the people who work for you. One of my assistants, Maravik, if you've ever emailed me, you probably got an email from Maravik. She actually works in the Philippines. And she used to work for the government, and it was just really long hours. She has teenage girls. They're teenage girls. She needed something where she had more flexible hours. So she found another job that allowed her to live in Dubai for 9 months, and then she'd be able to spend 3 months at home. Would you ever leave your teenage girls for 9 months for another opportunity? She realized that was not the right fit either. And she heard about this VA world, virtual assistant world, and we got connected. So now she's able to work from home, be there for her kids, set her own hours, and she is my goddess. I hope she never leaves. You're not allowed to take her from me. She's amazing. And that's her story. And it actually ties in to one of the reasons why I'm in business. That I mentioned I do the done-for-you social media. I don't want people to feel like they're tied to the computers. I like being tied to my computer. It's okay. You can give me the work. I'll do it for you. But there are a lot of people out there who that's not their joy. It's not their passion. They kind of hate it. They'd rather be with their clients. I don't know, these people are nodding their heads. They'd rather be with their clients. They'd rather be with their family. And that's huge for me, is having that flexible schedule so that you can be with the people that you want to be with. And that's the story of my employee. There's other ways you can share stories, such as your clients. My beautiful pictures taken by Lily Dong. So she posted this. She tagged me, and it got cut off on how many comments we received, but it was going viral. I mean, my friends from high school, my friends' moms from high school, something like that, second cousin, whatever, they were commenting on the beautiful pictures that Lily did for me. So you can share photos as well. You may not be a photographer, but we do have our smartphones. You can take photos. It's amazing how well those videos are on the smartphones as well, depending on, the videographers might disagree with me, but depending on lighting and situations and so on. But you can take pictures. You can take videos. Share your testimonials, your reviews. Your case studies. There's some businesses where a case study would be a better term for you of how you've helped your clients. How you help your clients. What kind of difference did they make in their world because of you, what you've done. I actually would recommend that if you didn't have time to post often for social media, because you see that some businesses post daily. It's actually what I recommend, is to post daily or multiple times a day. If that is not even in your bandwidth, the tweeter is laughing at this, but it happens. You just got those crazy weeks. If it's not possible to post every day, how about 1 or 2 great posts where you tell a story? Oh, Marion, come on. Are you a writer? Yeah, kinda. Are you a speaker? Okay, do video. If you're not a writer, do video. If you're great at speaking and then as soon as a camera shows up in your face, it stops, have someone else interview you. Do what you need to do to get those stories. Or you don't even have to do it. You can have other people do it. Ask other people. The friend that's always on their phone, hire them or enroll them or volunteer them and say, can you take my picture? Or can you post something on my behalf? And do the tagging and so on. So you don't even have to know how to do it. It's not always about the how, it's about the who. Who do you know in your network that can help you and do that on your behalf? So again, if you don't have time for the daily posts, see what you can create when it comes to telling a story. Huda.
What's on the video you would send out?
Oh, video. So what kind of videos could you do? Could be the same thing. Just on the top of my head, it could be how-to videos. It could be showing before and after. I know your business, so I'm already thinking about it. It could be client testimonials. It could be something you're at the store and you notice something that would be perfect for a client. You don't have to say the client's name, but you can pull out your phone and take a little video and say, this is why I think it'd be great for my client, without saying the name. And there's actually a few videographers in the room, too, if you wanted to pick their brains. I know Reese is one. Of course, Jim in the back.
So what kind of stories?
What kind of stories? So that's a great question. I mentioned a lot about client stories, about employee stories. It could be your own journey, about where you're at, and why did you start your business? To me, that's a basic question, is why did you start your business? Are all of you business owners? Okay, about maybe half in the room own your own business. There may be people who are managers, employees, salespeople for their business too. And this can still apply. Why did you choose your job? Why did you choose your position? Why this company? So why did you start your business? Could be a great story. It could be a lot of stories on there.
And it's okay, like on Facebook and the media, that's supposed to be short and sweet to tell stories. It's not too much or too long.
I like to mix it up. And I am often attracted to things that catch my eye.
Are you talking about blogs?
It could be a blog. Doesn't have to be. I'd be happy to share some examples offline, or I could post it on my page of some great pages of people who actually blog on their Facebook page or blog on Google+. So even if you don't have a website, you're able to share stories. So with stories, I've heard this great explanation of what a story is. Let me see if I can remember what it is. A story, this is by Ivan Meisner, and a story is based on a fact rolled into an emotion that inspires action and transformation. So without the action and transformation, you just have a joke. But if you have a whole reason behind it, that could do that. So I mentioned earlier this evening about my own story of why I started on Facebook. What I didn't mention was the huge family parties we used to have, where we would have 50 people in the house, and we'd be up all night. All the adults would play mahjong, and all my cousins and my siblings, we'd play together all night, and we'd have this giant family party almost every weekend. And then they stopped. And I moved out. I moved to Southern California. I moved away from my family, and I just felt lost. Felt so alone. I didn't know anyone. At the same time, I felt like I needed to move away from my parents because they always told me things like, they were always kind of doubting me on my dreams. That's silly. Don't do that. Do something that's safe. And for a lot of years, I just did what was safe. I went to college because that's what you're supposed to do. And I actually kind of bounced around on different degrees because I didn't know what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be. And it wasn't to a certain point when I had a boyfriend in my life. I was just attracting people into my life of all these people telling me what I couldn't do. And I just got fed up with it. To the point where I thought, what is the point of life if I can't pursue my dreams? And I just had to say, screw them, I'm doing what I want. And it was a big turning point in my life. And that's come across through my business. And one of the reasons why I love doing social media is that it gives people a voice. Don't worry about the people who say negative things, the whiners, the oversharers. Don't worry about them. They don't have to be in your network. You could let them go. You could unfriend them. I give you permission. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, even online. And when you start incorporating that into your marketing and sharing stories to help them lift them up, you're going to attract even more people to your business. So I talked about one story that you can share is why you're in business. I think there's a deeper message in there. Why in your business? Why did you start in your business? How about, why are you alive? Like, why are you doing all this? Why are you dealing with taxes right now? Why are you up past your bedtime? You know, all those sorts of things. There's a core reason why you're doing everything. And the more you can tap into that and then share it with the world, the stronger your marketing's going to be. It's actually something I've learned with the Referral Institute called emotionally charged connection. And it's this deeper reason on why we're in business. And if you know what's called your ECC, it will differentiate you from the competition. There is no competition because no one has the same story as you. No one has the same why as you do. You're not going to be a commodity. No one's going to price shop you because they're going to like you. They're going to feel connected to you. And the ones who don't, that's okay. There's someone else who can help them. So do you know your why? Do you know your emotionally charged connection? And those are a couple of really great resources for you. Both Corey and Miley are experts in helping people deepen their emotionally charged connection so that they differentiate from themselves, from their competition. Another great resource is Start With Why by Simon Sinek. And you could even go on YouTube and look for his TED Talk. How do great leaders inspire others? And he actually talks about Apple as one of his examples. And why do people choose them? And we can do the same for us. And that is the core of all our marketing, of all our social media. If we know why you're in business, what makes you different from your competition, who have you helped? Are you sharing those stories? Are you tying in everything with your marketing? And of course, being open to new technologies, as annoying that they might be, such as smartphones. But it allows us to share the message. So the more you do that, the more that you connect these dots and bring in the emotions and the feelings for why people want to work with you, the more that they want your help. Because there are people out there who are looking right now for your service. They're looking right now for your product. And they don't know who to turn to. They can turn to a lot of people. And you want people who connect with you, who value you, and you made it easy for you to be found because you're using something like social media.
Can I just add to that thought?
Sure.
I also think it's important in that same thought process that we teach our network how to refer us. And, just even, on, somebody asked me the other day, could I send a brief description of my services and what I do in just 1 or 2 quick sentences? Because typically people aren't going to read, a whole lot more. It can't be lengthy. And it dawned on me that it's something I need to be doing with a lot of people in my network. Because when you say you're in marketing and advertising, what does that mean exactly?
Right.
So you have to sort of, pare that down a little bit. And I found that to be a very effective marketing tool in itself.
Right, having a very succinct description of who you are and what you do, of your vision, your mission, and why you're in business and how important that is in marketing in general with social media. So thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm going to bring Allison back up.